Internet challenges. If you've been on the internet or just watched the news for a couple years, you've probably heard of one of these quote-unquote internet challenges that always ends badly. I think the most infamous one was the Tide Pod challenge that started or got really popular back in 2018, but there have been many others. Some of these challenges range from just doing dumb but ultimately harmless shit to things that can absolutely kill you. I don't know where we went from goofy shit to dangerous shit or just why people do it. The obvious answer would be internet clout, I guess, but is that really more valuable than your life? Cause like you don't win anything if you do these challenges except maybe a trip to a psych ward where someone's gonna think you're suicidal for some of the shit these people be doing to themselves. And today we're gonna be looking at some of the dumbest and most dangerous internet challenges people have attempted for one reason or another. And just to cover our asses, Todd here is gonna read a disclaimer just to prevent Chance of Susan and the Goon Squad from nuking this video from orbit. Go ahead, Todd. This video is purely for entertainment purposes only, and we do not encourage or condone any of the dangerous and potentially life-threatening actions we will be displaying or describing in this video. We strongly advise against doing any of the things mentioned in this video, and if you decide to do it anyway, we're gonna go on the record saying you are Edgy, do you really want me to say this last part? Yes. And if you decide to do it anyway, we want to go on public record saying you are a goddamn fucking idiot, and you should be subjected to unrelenting public ridicule for the rest of your life, assuming you survive, and should receive a Darwin Award in the mail. Alright, I think that covers our bases. Let's do this shit. This is a challenge that was pretty popular years ago. I remember it being on the rage in 2012, and it involves people eating a spoonful of ground cinnamon in under 60 seconds without drinking anything. And people would upload videos of themselves doing this, usually on YouTube, though I think I saw a couple that were on Facebook. You know, that kind of shit, right? You're probably questioning, how the hell is any of that dangerous, right? Well, there is a gagging and choking risk on the cinnamon as it can clump up and clog your damn airways. If that's not bad enough for you, if you accidentally inhale it, you can seriously damage your lungs and cause inflammation, which can lead to lung infection. It gets worse. You see, and I didn't know this, cinnamon contains a chemical, and I'm probably about to butcher this, called cinnamaldehyde. This can cause skin irritation, and most people who have done this challenge suffered extreme irritation, including itching and burning of the nasal tissue and nostrils, and it can also trigger hypersensitivity reactions. And some people have vomited over this. Oh, and if you need one final reason why you're a dumbass if you do this, cinnamon also contains a chemical called coumarin, which is moderately toxic and can fuck up your liver and kidneys if you ingest a large amount of it. People have been hospitalized for this, and in the first 3 months of 2012, the American Poison Control Centers received over 100 phone calls because morons tried this challenge, and a teenager in Michigan did a 4-day stint in a hospital because he tried this. If all that somehow wasn't bad enough, pneumonia and collapsed fucking lungs are also a real risk. I tried to see if there were any reported deaths, and I did find a Vice article from 2015 where a woman's 4-year-old son unfortunately died after ingesting an entire container of cinnamon powder. This caused the boy's body to seize because he inhaled so much of it that he just couldn't breathe. He had a seizure and collapse, and he tragically died an hour and a half after the incident, despite getting him to a hospital as fast as possible. The sad part about this is, the other challenges we'll be looking at make this one seem harmless by comparison. Do you like sci-fi? Do you like superhero teams? Well, you might want to check out my book, Renegades Volume 1 Rise, now available on Amazon, both physical and digital. Set in the far future, humanity accidentally crossed over into another dimension while trying to escape a dying Earth. They arrived at a mirror Earth called Terra, inhabited by sentient humanoid animals called Terrans. Humans and Terrans coexisted for a little while, but they eventually went to war. After 10 years of brutal warfare, they eventually found peace. Our story is set 50 years later. A madman named Ivan and his terror cell called Scythe are searching for a dangerous weapon that will allow them to take over the world. The only people who can stop them are the Renegades, a ragtag group of misfits including a teenage girl trained to be a soldier since she was a child, a teenage delinquent with a hoverboard, 2 super geniuses, a former heavyweight pro boxer with cybernetic augments, and a mysterious blue creature with no memories and the ability to manipulate water and ice. In order to stop Ivan, the Renegades will have to take on giant mechs, evil mega corporations, terrorists, cyborg ninjas, and more in their exciting debut. You can pick up the digital version for 99 cents or the print version for 17 bucks. You can also read the book for free as serials on my Wattpad and Minds accounts. They are updated every other week with a new section. This one is exactly what the hell you think it is. It's motherfuckers covering themselves in flammable liquid and then lighting themselves on fire. Yeah, people were actually doing this shit. Look, you are not being the Vietnamese Buddhist monks self-immolating to protest the Vietnam War. Those guys are the lighting yourselves on fire champions forever. Like that, you're never taking that title away from them. I remember seeing a video of a kid staying in a bathtub then lighting his chest on fire, and I just couldn't believe someone was that fucking retarded that they would light themselves on fire purely for views and then 15 minutes of fame on the goddamn internet. What can I say? I was a younger, slightly less cynical bird back then. The first known fire challenge video was uploaded back in 2012. Okay, what the fuck was going on in 2012? Besides the Mayan apocalypse, of course. Now, I've seen people light themselves on fire during extreme stunt shows, but remember, those are trained professionals with safety crews on hand in case something goes horribly wrong. And even then, there are still horrific accidents. Maybe lighting ourselves on fire is just not a good idea. Maybe we just shouldn't do that. I don't know. I might just be built different, but I don't think that's a good idea. But this challenge gained mainstream media attention 2 years later in 2014. And in August of that year, an 11-year-old boy in Kendall, Florida, of course it's goddamn Florida, Floridians are just built different, lit himself on fire because he and his older brother and 3 other dipshit friends watched a video of someone doing it on Facebook and thought, I want to try that. He tried it. The mother was asleep in the other room and was woken up by her son screaming like Anakin Skywalker after getting folded by Obi-Wan on Mustafar. She found him in the shower and rushed him to the hospital. Luckily he survived it, and he told other kids this.
Don't try it!
If only other people actually listened to this kid. A 16-year-old in Santa Ana, Orange County, California also did this and placed nail polish remover on his chest and then lit himself on fire. His dumbass was rushed to the hospital and suffered first and second degree burns on his face, necks, and hips, but thankfully it wasn't life-threatening. I didn't know this, but nail polish remover is alcohol-based and burns at a high temperature, and it's somewhat akin to dousing yourself in gasoline and then lighting a match. So yeah, not smart at all. The absolute wildest case I could find was on an archived article from ABC News, also from 2014, where a North Carolina woman was arrested and accused of helping her son set himself on fire as part of the fire challenge. This 41-year-old woman named Janine Lachelle Taylor helped with recording her idiot son lighting himself on fire using fingernail polish. The boy suffered burns to his chest and neck, and in general just had a bad time, as you would expect. I don't think this woman is getting Parent of the Year award. And social services got involved. I wonder why. Surprisingly, I couldn't find a case of anyone actually dying from this. I did find some more recent articles from as recent as 2018 of fucking morons just doing this shit, but again, no one died. But I mean, burns are nothing to fuck around with. But what's even more surprising than that, this challenge kind of had a bit of a resurgence thanks to the Chinese spyware known as TikTok, albeit it wasn't a different form and not exactly the same. In 2021, a 13-year-old girl in Oregon ended up in the ICU for severe burns to her neck and arms. However, unlike the challenges I mentioned previously, this one isn't supposed to result in you lighting yourself on fire. This all started when a TikTok creator called Jack Jerry made a video of himself spraying hairspray onto a mirror, turning off the lights, and then lighting the spray on fire. I shouldn't have to tell you how dangerous this is to do in a confined space like your bedroom, do I? Jerry has done many of these because people requested different shapes and stuff like that. And one of these videos at the time the article was written received more than 700k views and 70k likes. But our 13-year-old, do I call him a contestant? I guess, a 13-year-old contestant tried the trend, and this resulted in a bottle of isopropyl alcohol exploding and damaging her face and body. She had to undergo a tracheotomy and 2 skin grafts over this. What the fuck is a trachea, whatever the hell you just said, bro? is when a surgeon cuts a hole into the front of your neck and into the windpipe to open it up for breathing. It's usually done if someone's air passages are blocked or otherwise reduced. Shit. Yeah, shit. We're not done with the batshit crazy dangerous challenges either. Going in the completely opposite direction, now we've got the salt and ice challenge. That doesn't sound too bad, Edgy. Yeah, that was my first reaction to hearing this until I looked up what happens if you mix salt and ice. You see, the participants in this torture, I mean internet challenge, will coat themselves in salt, usually on the arm, and then place ice on their arm. This causes a burning sensation similar to frostbite, and the people doing this try to endure it as long as possible. The mixture of salt and ice create an... Todd, what the hell is this? Eutectic frigorific mixture? Dude, was that even English? A frigorific mixture is a mixture of two or more phases in a chemical system, so long as none of the phases is consumed during equilibration and reaches an equilibrium temperature that is independent of the starting temps of the phases before they were mixed. Todd, you've lost me. Yeah. Okay, equilibration is the act of stabilizing something or making it more stable. So the chemical mix becomes stable. In the case of this challenge, that means the temperature of the salt and ice mix can get as cold as minus 18 degrees Celsius or 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Some places in Alaska get this cold during the winter. And you're putting that on your body, on your skin. I don't think human skin can take that kind of cold in just one spot, at least not very long. No, they can't. Oh, yep, it says it right here that this combo can cause second and third degree injuries similar to frostbite or being burned by the metal end of a cigarette lighter. Good fucking lord, man. It gets worse. This can cause painful open sores to form on the skin due to the numbing sensation of the cold and possible nerve damage during the stunt. And most of the participants, and this is the scary part, aren't even aware of just how much damage has been done, and they only realize it after the salt has entered the open lesions. And it can also leave the skin discolored even after the challenge has been done. So yeah, just why the fuck would you do this shit? I found an archive article of a 12-year-old boy in Pittsburgh being left with second-degree burns to his back because he tried this. Again, this one is from 2012. What were they putting in the water back then to make people harm themselves like this? Yeah, it's pretty much what you think it is, and we have TikTok to thank for this one. This involves using the plug part of your cell phone charger and inserting it into a wall outlet, then sliding a penny down the wall into the opposing cable prongs. This can not only cause a fire that could burn down your house or wherever you are when you do this, but can also electrocute the absolute moron doing it, and not to mention damaging the place's electrical systems, which someone has to pay for. It's also known as a penny challenge too, and I found this one article that is, it's funny like in hindsight, but it's absolutely ridiculous. In December of 2021, an Amazon Alexa system encouraged a 10-year-old girl to participate in this challenge. Is Alexa becoming sentient over there? Jeff Bezos or whoever the fuck is running Amazon right now, y'all might want to pull the fucking plug because she's becoming murderous. How? How did that happen? Well, the mom, Kristen Livedall, was using Alexa to motivate her kids to try out physical challenges like balancing a broomstick on their hands and things like that. And the daughter asked Alexa for a challenge prompt, and Alexa apparently said this.
Here's something I found on the web. The challenge is simple. Plug in a phone charger about halfway into a wall outlet, then touch a penny to the exposed prongs.
This quote was taken directly from Alexa's event log. Thankfully, the mom was in the room and told her to not do that. Amazon has since apologized and said that as soon as they were made aware of the error, they took action to fix it. As if I needed another reason to never buy an Alexa unit. Yeah. Thankfully, I couldn't find any reports of death for this one, but if people keep doing this shit, I imagine it's only a matter of time. Or at the very least, somebody's gonna burn down their house doing this. This is probably the most infamous challenge. Even people who aren't online that much know about this one because the news media went absolutely ballistic with reporting on this. For some reason, people were eating Tide Pods and other laundry detergent pods. Okay, eat is a little bit misleading to be fair. Well, what happened is, for the most part, kids would just bite into the packet, or in some cases cook them in frying pans, and then chew them before the soap started spewing from their mouths. Again, this is something I really don't think I have to tell you how dangerous this is. In 2017, according to the U.S. Poison Control Centers, nearly 220 teens were reportedly exposed to toxic chemicals in laundry pods, and 25% of those were intentional. Would you be shocked to find out children exposed to it were hospitalized? Yeah, people reported vomiting, breathing difficulties, loss of consciousness, and since 2012, according to this article, there have been 8 deaths reported among children 5 years old and younger. And the packages are dangerous on 2 levels. You can choke on a liquid by inhaling it, or become seriously ill by ingesting it, which can cause blood pressure and heart rate changes and even seizures. If that wasn't bad enough, if you have any underlying medical problems like asthma, you're more likely to have complications. And to just pile on more reasons why eating these things is extremely fucking dangerous, ulcers have been reported, as well as dysphagia. What the hell is dysphagia? Whatever the fuck you just said. That just means difficulty swallowing. Bruh, why the hell don't they just say that? Don't be using big words like that, man. That shit is confusing. Moving on. Companies were quick to issue PSAs warning people to not fucking eat these things, which is a statement you'd hope you never have to say to someone, as that's just common fucking sense. But common sense is not that common, especially when we're talking about teenagers. Especially if this video is anything to go by. I tried to find a definitive answer as to how many people actually died from, eating these things, but from what I can see, most people don't die from it, but end up very sick. Alright, I'm just gonna have to cut this off here, because the more I look into this, the more stupid challenges I see. Like people choking themselves to the point of passing out, snorting condoms, that dumbass TikTok trend with like the NyQuil chicken thing, and shit like throwing boiling water on people, and somehow that is a challenge and not just, physical assault. Honestly, I feel like I'm just barely scratching the surface with this and could probably do another video on more challenges. Again, do not do anything that has been described and or shown in this video. The intention of this video is to discourage people from doing this shit and making fun of the people who did, okay? Okay, Susan, we good? You can lower the sniper rifle now, okay? I know this is a bit different from the usual Penguin Observation Network videos since it wasn't focused on a specific person, but I thought it'd be fun to branch out and mix up a bit and just cover other bizarre things that are internet related. Let me know what you guys think, and if you want to see more vids like this one, let me know in the comments and all that. And you guys know what to do, like, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy the video. And I'll talk to you guys later.